it off. I think it might be warm in here enough with this heater on me to do this. Waiting on a few people to get here. When they see it live, they will. Hello, hello. Kim, what's up? How you doing? Welcome in. I was waiting on a few people. I got something I got to say tonight. I'm going to say it. I'm actually going to do a video on it, but I wanted to run it by you guys real quick and give you a little teaser about it. As people come in, hey, what's going on, Seth? What's going on, everybody? I have something to say tonight. It's going to be kind of interesting. It's kind of like a download I got today, and I haven't had one of those in a while. But I've been thinking a lot about the people that have been saying, they either say there is no rapture or things like it happened in 70 AD and what else do they say? Oh, and they talk about a mid-rapture, mid-trib rapture. Let me explain this to you, okay? And we've got 5 people in here, and I kind of would like because I know I'm going to have to repeat myself so you guys don't get frustrated with me. But I'm going to do this in my video, and I don't know that I'll make this one like public right here, but what I've got to say is that the rapture is an invitation, okay? It's an invite. Hey, Keith, what's going on? What's going on? I was kind of waiting on a couple others that really been wanting me to have a live to come on in. We've got 6 in here right now, 7. Make sure y'all hit that likes because I like to get liked. Makes me feel good inside. But anyway, guys, what I want to talk about is it's an invitation. And I want you to understand that the reason why people can read the Bible, never see it, and we read the Bible and it's all through it, it mirrors itself everywhere, is because not everybody got invited, okay? But the deal is that the invitations that we got, we're allowed to invite as many guests as we want. But they have to listen. And there's a parable in there that tells it. It says, hey, he sent out invites and they didn't show up, right? And it's the Christians are the hardest to talk to. The old school Christians are the hardest to talk to about it. They're dead set. Their mind's closed to it. So they've got their idea either way, being the last moment or mid-trib or whatever. When we know wrath wasn't awarded to us, right? So when we see it throughout, when he talks about Noah, when he talks about Lot, neither one of those saw wrath. They were taken away from wrath before it happened. So it is when you say pre, it means avoiding the wrath of God. Now, if they don't see it, they weren't invited. However, if they listen to us, because we do see it, and we see it nonstop all the way through it, it's because our eyes have been open to it. And we got invited. So we go and we try to invite them. They don't listen. So who do we talk to? You talk to more baby Christians, the new ones. And some of those grasp it, and some of those go for what the old school ones, they follow them. When I say old school, I just mean mind closed, okay? And then you have the easiest ones to talk to are the ones that are not religious at all. They just accept. And it's just like the parable said. He sent out, they didn't show up. Sent out the invite, the next group didn't show up. So he said, go out and just bring anybody in, right? Well, this is the way it goes. So If they don't see it, it's because their eyes haven't been open to it. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It means that we see what they don't see. Okay? We believe like they do. We believe every word the Bible says. However, the Bible does say everything that we're saying. Wrath was not awarded to us. And the time is coming really soon. When I say soon, I look, if I say the equinox, if there was no calendars and I said, okay, well, I know it would be at the end of the equinox. However, they put calendars to it. I mean, I didn't make the calendar, it's just there. So if I go to the end of the equinox and then I look, there's a date. Do I feel like it's going to happen then? Yes, I do. Okay, I, I'm I'm all in. I really do believe it. Uh, Not just because I wasn't told, hey, the fall of 2025. I was told in the fall of 2015, 10 years. So I took it as the fall of 2025. And everything's adding up. There's a convergence of things. It really doesn't matter what I think. We've got Three Eye Atlas coming in. Right. So we're not awarded wrath. Noah didn't taste wrath. Neither did Lot. Lot was taken out just before the city was destroyed. And we'll be taken out just before this thing starts to happen. Okay? And uh, but when I get back to it, there's a convergence of things. Let's just look. All the things that I didn't even know. Okay, Hanukkah. The last day of Hanukkah ends on the end of the equinox, along with the seventh day of Hanukkah, which is the seventh month, 77 years, 7 months, and 7 days to that Israel has been a nation. Kind of just convergence, right? Another convergence is Three Eye Atlas coming in at the same time, which I call AKA the Ark. Uh, like I say, some people call it the deception, but we have something else coming that could be the deception. It's coming up under the solar system, and it's a lot bigger. So I'm looking at a convergence of things. When you got Perry Stone coming on and saying the exact same thing, I said it. My wife said it's like he listened to your video and then did one, and he dances around and tries to stay away from it. He's saying, look, it's a convergence of things in heavens, on earth, in politics, and wars, and earthquakes, and famines, and it's just all over the place. Okay, it's everything's come together. The baby's about to be born. You see what I'm saying? The 9-month pregnant woman is about to deliver the baby, and we're just sitting here any day going, wow. Could it happen right this moment? Yes. But do I believe it'll happen before the end of the equinox? Yes, I do. Okay. Uh, there you go. And I've all of the, before they were going for the other dates. However, all the videos that you can watch right now about it are agreeing with something that I said months ago that wasn't that popular. Okay? And it's that Jesus, I know what I do know about Jesus is that he will delay to the last moment. And if the Father sent him in this equinox and said, you go get the bride in this equinox, he would wait to the last moment of the equinox, not the first. Okay? Nothing ever said that it had to be on a feast date, but it just falls on Hanukkah. I got a feeling we won't be. I got a great feeling. A better feeling than I've had. Look, you guys know that I say, hey, this other guy called for it, so we'll call it a super high watch day. Correct? Does anybody that follows me knows that I do that? I say we'll recognize this as a super high watch day. But this was their super high watch days. This one here is one I'm saying. Okay? I'm actually saying it. Okay, so I'm even calling it more than a super high watch day. I feel like it's going to happen. Okay. Now we don't have as many people watching now, right? I am growing. That the last video grew quite a lot of people. However, you know, when we were looking toward what Joshua was saying back in September, it was growing like 400 people a day. It went down to less than that. However, now that it's not mainstream media and not everybody's looking, wouldn't it be more apt to happen, right? Wouldn't it be more? Nobody's listening now because everybody's called for dates, so there's no reason to listen. It's just another guy saying another date. And I'm not saying a date, it just happens to be one. I just said the end of the equinox. I didn't create the equinoxes. I look. It may. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know. Look, and what rapture? We've got our ideas of what we think the rapture is. A lot of us feel like we'll just evaporate out, right? Uh, a lot of us. I got 21 people and 11 likes. Let's get this up here, guys. I love you guys, and I want you to. I'm just here for you to just have somebody to talk to about it. And I'm just getting mine out before I really start to read what you guys are saying, okay? But um, look, so the rapture could go many different ways. Look, could our bodies just drop and we're gone, and they're just left with carcasses? Could we just evaporate and just not be here any longer? Either that way, the other way is a little more deceptive because they would come up and go, oh, look, he thought he was going to get raptured and he died. Right? That's how they look at things. Is everything's death. It's death in this world. What's other ways it could happen? What if rapture meant that we walk among them and we don't have wrath and they do? What if it meant that? What if it meant that we were just different? And that would have them come in and saying, what is it you did? What is it? Give me your all. What is it? What did you do different? And you try to tell them, but they don't believe. I mean, it's I don't know the way the rapture will go, but I know it's happening. It's about to happen. Whatever this shift is, whatever this move is about to happen, and it's going to be exciting. What if if you've been? I've looked at it so many different ways, because you've got to repent. It means think of it every way, every way. And it's just like with people that cannot see the rapture or don't believe or say the things they say. It's because they weren't invited. However, we're able to invite them. Does that make sense? Is anybody with me on that? Can I get some, I don't know. If you that makes sense to you, just say make sense or something. It's you see it because they don't see it. You read the same things they do, and you see it, and they don't see it. Okay, see, there we go. So it makes sense. Uh, so when they refute it and they say that, it's truly because they believe it, because they don't see it. You know, and we can't make them see it, but look at how in the parable, how he tells you how they're going to act. And the hardest people to talk to are your religious Christian people, the ones who they know it all. Why would a mid trib rapture help a preacher? Because if you miss the rapture, he can still go, it didn't happen, that it's still going to happen, and there's no such thing. Okay? So it would keep them from saying, well, what happened? Why are they gone? They didn't do right. They look, their bodies just are laying there, right? so they could say the rapture hasn't happened. A mid one's coming that never comes because you either avoid wrath or you're in it. That's plain and simple. I mean, there's no like getting in so much wrath and then getting out of it. Wrath is so that you will have your saints. It's your last ones, the ones that because they didn't get it now, they lay down their life and they'll be there with us. That's why you'll see saints during that time. I got a good feeling about it. I really do. This thing has thrusters, y'all. It has thrusters. It's not just floating through space, not handling itself. This mug, what does thrusters mean? It obviously has what it needs to fly through space very fast. And there's nothing that's been sent to us that wasn't preordained by Jesus himself. He controls everything in heaven and on earth. It's preordained. So that's whether it flies by and gets us or not. But what I'm saying is I believe it will. I got a good feeling about it. The convergence of things are all coming together at once. It's not something that we're making up. It's not a dream and not a vision. It's just facts. Okay? I got a good feeling if you took all the dreams that these people have been having and you put it closer into this month, it would all make more sense. It would all make more sense. It's because when you have a dream and a vision, there's a lot of symbolism in them. It's easy to, and you always think it's so urgent that you need to tell it because it's going to happen right then. But what we can't change is the convergence of things that are all happening during the end of this equinox. Anybody, what do you think, guys? And I'm about to do the video. When I do it, it's going to sound a lot like this because but there's going to be a lot take the mark. When they take the mark, it's over. Okay? The people that say, oh, it happened in 70 AD, what does that have to do with us buying and selling in the last days? Nothing. So it's foolishness to say it happened in 70 AD. There's a lot of things that mirror each other. Hitler mirrored the Antichrist, right? But we know it wasn't him. But he mirrored it. Everything he did was a lot, it was just complete mirror. But he's not in the last days. We are. And that's why all these things are coming out. In Daniel, all these things were sealed in the book of Daniel for the last days. They weren't sealed so that you never got to them. They were sealed for the last days. So we're in the last days. So the things of Daniel are opening up. The secrets. Okay? These guys have been putting together puzzles off of dreams and visions and wanting to keep it going. And that's understandable, and maybe it all adds up to this, okay? It's led them to this. There's no other way. You start at the beginning of the equinox and end up at the end of the equinox. Would you agree? I mean, if Jesus was going to do it, what do we know about him? We know that he wants everybody he can get, and there's last stragglers, and he'll take, if it takes till the last second of the equinox, that's when it'll happen. If he's pinned to the equinox, which I believe he is. I believe the Father said, go get him in this equinox. So he's been showing himself since July, sending the ark. And the ark's about to be the closest to earth. I call it the ark. I hope it's the ark. Why not believe, guys? What all you can do is believe. Believe is all we have. Right? And, I feel sorry for the people that can't believe. It's all just words in history book to them. It's the Bible becomes alive to you. It's either you just read it or you read it until it becomes alive. And what it has done for us is it's become alive. It's the living God. We're not talking about He is the God of old, but He's the God of right now. The God of right now. And the more real belief that you have, the more real He becomes to you. That's just the way it is. And we know that the parable of the virgin says there were 10 virgins, 10 born again Christians. 5 went into the banquet, 5 didn't. So we know that Christians are going to be left behind. Why? Because they do not believe in it. And your mind has to. A woman just believed a little bit and touched the hem of Jesus' garment and was healed. And he just felt it come out of him. He didn't have to do anything. It's belief. It's you gotta believe. Do you understand that? Not for little children. Little children they're not at the age of accountability yet. So all little children are going to go. And only the adults that believe like little children. And you've got to, the rapture is not, for most people, a lot of people, when you say it, if they've got a pretty decent life or going on, whatever, they love what's going on in their life, it sounds like death to them, so they don't want to hear it because life's okay, but they're not looking around them and seeing that everything's going to SHIT. Okay? So it hasn't affected their little world yet. But when the rapture happens and the wrath comes, it's going to affect their little worlds. Does that make sense? So we're inviting them. We see the invitation, and we can invite as many people to come with us as we want. And we try it for everybody. But the people least to listen to you is your family. So whoever you're talking to and you're trying so hard with your family and they're not responsive, move on to the next. Talk to somebody else's family. Maybe they'll listen to you when they won't listen to their own. My parents don't listen to me, you guys. They do not. In fact, they think I think I'm Jesus, okay? They've told me that. It's not a very good situation, And I watched Joseph Allen with his parents, and it wasn't a good situation. We see the rapture coming, but we can't. They've been hearing it since the 80s is what I've been hearing that since the 80s. So what? Guess what? It's made it to it. It's made it to it. It's that time. And I could do this every day. Look, I'm going to be on here for Hanukkah, through Hanukkah. As long as we're still here, I'm going to come on every day and get them lamps fired up. You hear me? It's time for that Holy Spirit filled oil. I know that the oil is the Holy Spirit. I have some people go, well, the oil is the Holy Spirit. Like, you can't do anything. Well, you can help get that Holy Spirit fired up. And that's what I try to do. And we could call it daily bread, okay? But we call it daily oil because we want to get them lamps kicked up high. We want to be the brightest when Jesus gets here and calls us to Him. I want Him to see me. All right, so I'm going to start reading your questions, okay? Or reading anything you guys say. I've been just running my mouth, but I just had to get that out. Should I leave the live up and just do it that way, or, just do a video? Maybe I just didn't let the live be my video. But don't that many people watch my lives, though. When I put them up, when I do a video, it gets watched. That's right. Look, we see what they don't, guys. We see what they don't, and you know, how come I can look all throughout the Bible and see the rapture, and they don't? It's because they weren't meant to see. Do you understand? It's lock. It's a lock under a lock and a key. You can't just give it to them, but you can try. And the easiest people to talk to are your non-religious people. Or you anybody agree to that? I so look. It's all about Jesus. It is all about Jesus. Okay. We have already overcome death. We know that we don't die. Now, what will the people see that are here? They'll see a carcass. They'll call it death. We know we don't die. We keep going. We go be with Jesus, and we do other things. Okay. So we've already overcome the second death, which is spiritual death. And but some people see it as, I'm sorry, but heaven is the place you go when you pass away. And they don't feel the same way about it as we do. And we know it's an illusion. It is an illusion. Death is an illusion. And once you accept Jesus, you should already know that. You know? So, I'm hoping we're out of here by the 21st or so. I'm just going to say it. That's when the end of the equinox is. I don't like to say dates. I didn't put the date to it. It's just, all right, that's what the date is. Okay? And I don't want to start talking about time zones and all that crap. Okay? It's just when we're out of here, we're out of here, whatever time zone it is. We're all going to be about the same time. Okay? It ain't going to be this time, and then you disappear. It's just going to be a mass disappearing. Whatever time that might be. You're not crazy, girl. We're all crazy. But everybody in the Bible was crazy. Moses was crazy as a... Come on now. Anybody who was doing it right was crazy. Anybody who was doing it right. And I want you to notice something else. I can sit here and go, look, Jesus sent me to tell you these things. Now, you go, well, why would you say that? Nobody woke up to who they were until they were in their like 40s or 30s. Moses was in his 40s when all this happened with Jesus. All this happened with God. And Jesus was in his 30s when he started his ministry. And all the others, they were all dealt with in their older ages. So yes, I woke up and realized that I was sent to say these things. I was born on Rosh Hashanah. Okay? At the very second the sun went down. And it just means something to me. It does. And I know things are it's not for no reason. So I'm sounding the trumpet. I've been sounding the trumpet for a while. I've had to fight through all these people's dates with the trucking with the same message. You guys know that. You guys know that. They were doing it. I'm okay with it. I think it's fun for them to run to and fro. But I've been saying the same thing throughout the entire time. It's hurtful. Family doesn't believe you. Especially if you got to deal with it, but you got to understand it's not for everyone. It's just not. Not all Christians are going to go. It clearly tells you that in the parables. People are like, oh, you're going to go whether or not you want to or not. It's just when it happens. That's not true. It's not true. We're working. Look, who is the most awake of the community? Who is the most awake? I would say your rapture watchers are the most awake. The most awake are the rapture watchers. Then you do have your people you ever met that person that's just constantly singing to Jesus and praising him, and those people too, okay? They're just a part of it. They don't have to believe in those people are Holy Spirit filled all the time. But you know a lot of people that they get theirs when they go to church. It's football after church, and it's just normal things throughout the week, and it's just a church setting. And those are your Christians that don't get it. You understand that. And there's a lot more of those than there are of rapture watchers. Look at our community. I look at each guy, each person who talks about it, how many followers they have, and we're just a smaller community, but we are a community. We're larger than what you think. It's just my voice hasn't gotten out there far enough. Maybe uh, uh, there's other people that their voices haven't. But I listen to. I love listening to Joseph Allen. He is one. He knows that Bible, guys. And he knows. He gets excited and he comes up with. I don't know. Valid to me. Sound good to me. I'll call it super high watch days when he says it. He had reasons for believing it, but they're all been playing off of dreams and visions. What I'm telling you, I was totally awake for. I was totally awake. I wasn't asleep. It happened while I was awake. So that's the only difference. How many people are ready for him to come back in Hanukkah? Come on, guys. Come on, guys, give me some hearts. We need some hearts, some smiley faces, ice cream cones, whatever you want to call it. You know, I look, uh, I really enjoy like gaining subscribers and I really enjoy likes and what have you because it makes me feel good. It really does. It's not anything to do with I know that it helps the algorithm or whatever, but it helps this algorithm for some reason. So it does. It feels like if I had a church and it had that many people in it, I would be so honored. You know what I mean? I really would be. I would love to step out and talk to that many people. It would excite me so much, you know. So here it is. Here's the church on here. We're a bunch of rapture believers. Sorry if they don't see it. Don't feel bad, guys, if they refute it and give you every little message. I can show you a bunch of messages that refute that. Okay? They're but they're not going to see it either because they refuse to see it or because they're blinded. They can't hear it and they can't see it. That is from Isaiah, and Jesus said it himself. You know, you tell some people about it, and the birds come down and quickly eat it. That snatches it away immediately. Okay? Then some falls in shallow soil and rocks. And because it does grow, they like it at first, but they run off and talk about it. As soon as they do, somebody else steals their crown. And because they had no root, they wither. Then some are fall on the thorns and thistles. So the world around them, they like. It's a small, they're whatever bubble they have. The world around them has got them, so they're not interested in it. But some falls in good soil, which produces a crop of 30, 60, and 100 times what is sown. So, you rapture believers, you're the 30, 60, and 100 times what is sown. We already believe in Jesus. I don't even know they don't have to make us believe in Jesus. We already believe in that. We already believe all the same things they do. But we see a rapture that they don't. That's just plain and simple. And then they say that about 70 AD. You can just say, anybody that says that, just say, well, what does that have to do with buying and selling and trading in the end? And they won't have an answer, okay? Because they're talking crap. A lot of things mirror each other, but they're not it. Hitler mirrored the Antichrist. He was an Antichrist. They're an anti-Antichrist. But the one they're looking for will be, a lot like that, but smarter. Lee, I'm glad you're here. That's why I had to, you're a lot of the reason why I did this live. But I do. What do you guys think? Do you think what I'm talking about? How many people just tap agreed if you agree? I mean, they're not going to see it because they haven't been invited. But our invitations say we can invite as many guests to come as we want. We see it. We're supposed to tell it. And whether they take it or they don't, they're going to miss out on the greatest time in history. And they got to go through wrath so that they will look up instead of looking at what they have. Okay? Sometimes you got to be put flat on your back so you look up. That's what wrath's about. So the wrath that's coming, the thing that they put their most belief in, whether it be, some people believe their guns will save them. Well, their guns are going to have to save them. Some people believe that the government will save them. Some people believe, they've got their beliefs in different things. But I have my belief that Jesus is about to gather us to the clouds. He's about to descend upon the clouds, and he's about to call us forth like Lazarus. And he's going to say, whatever name, Leah, Linda, he's going to say, Linda, come forth, and you're going to be in the clouds. Does that not give you chills? Gary, come forth. And you're going to be in the clouds with Jesus. And that's just the way it's going to be. Each one of us will hear our name called. I've had all the spiritual things happen to me, but I couldn't deny that everything was happening in the natural as well. So when I thought I had been through it all spiritually, complete revelation, I couldn't deny that all of the literal is happening as well. But what's happening out here is what is leading to the end. What's happening in here is what's leading to the future, to the beginning. So many will see their end and many will see their beginning. It's kind of like some will see burning flame and some will see a bright light. Because see, when Jesus steps foot on earth, we come back with him. He comes back with an army, which is us. So it will be our second coming as well. It will be our second coming. We're coming back with him. We're going to be a place where he is. He has prepared for us a place to be with him until he steps foot on earth with us. So when they're looking to him, oh, that'll be the last moment, well, they'll see us coming with him. Hey, Carolyn. He's about to say, Carolyn, come forth. I'm telling you. It's a time to be excited. It really is. It really is. These are exciting times. I wish I'd brought my drink out here, guys. Wow. I can't call for it because you guys are on the phone. Oh my gosh. I should have brought a drink. I'm ready to fly away. I'm tired. I'm ready. I've been trying so many things, guys. I started this women's clothing store, kind of everything website store. I talked about it a little bit the other day. I've had visitors, but no sales yet. I'm trying. Maybe Christmas coming around. Maybe somebody get on it. It's called PaisleyGrove.org. Even if you just go in it and look at it, go check it out. It's just my web store. I'm not asking you to buy anything, but just go look at it. Tell me what you think. I set it up. I think it looks good. But it was definitely a process, a learning process. But yeah, guys, we're about to get raptured, and I keep living and trying to do normal things, but it's really hard to stay focused these days. You know that, don't you? Does everybody feel the same way? It's hard to stay focused and doing anything because this is all we think about. I think about it night and day. But it's been like that for me for 10 years. I was able to put it on pause for a little bit, but there's not a day that goes by that I do not think something about it. Something about Jesus. I'm always, look, when I learned that there's only one, okay? There's only one. Whether we say three in one, there's only one God. He told us in the beginning he was a jealous God, and there would be no other gods before him. So we know there's only one God, and however you want to press that together or see it, there's only one God. And once you realize there's only one, and you only talk to one, then that's the only one you talk to in here. That leaves out everything else. So I'm always. That's why Jesus, when he talked, he said a prayer. Remember when he said the prayer right before he called Lazarus forth? He said this extensive prayer. Then he went off to the side and told God, he was like, the Father, he said, and we don't talk like that, but I did that for them. It's because these big extensive prayers that we can say, they're good for other people, but literally I'm in an all day talk with him in here. All day. Was you there when that big tornadoes and all that came through? I remember when Joplin got tore up. Yep. But I just want you guys to know that that's what I came on here to say. And I'm going to do a video on it. I hope it does well. What do you think? You think it will? Anybody give me some thumbs ups? Think it'll do well? Uh, I just want to know that all the parables are true. All the parables are true. They prove true in everything that I have done. You know, everything Jesus said was absolutely 100% true, even down to the hardest people to talk to are your own. That's the truth. We've all went through it. Go try to talk to your parents about it. They will shut you down. Or any kind of close family, real religious people, because their minds are closed. He said, look, if our mind's closed, then we're closed in the carnal mind. The carnal mind means earthly. If we have an open mind, then we're open to heavenly things. So we're not locked in the carnal mind. We don't say this is the way it is. It could be a lot. There are certain things that we know that God does regard. He hardens and softens the heart. Right? Pharaoh would let him go, then God would harden his heart and he wouldn't let him go. So we know he hardens and softens the heart. We know God controls that. Okay? And there's certain laws throughout the Bible just like that we know about God, that he can soften your heart where you go down one road, or he'll harden it where you won't. You'll go down a different road. You think you've got complete control? You're being steered, okay? Those of us that were his all along, we're being steered. So he hardens and softens our hearts to go down different roads. And we decide which road we're going to go down. He also uses your weaknesses as his strengths. So you can go down that bad road, following your weakness, which is his strength to get you to go down that road. He's always been in control. Always been in control. There's just certain things that throughout the Bible, if you are rooted, that you know about him, that will let you know that, guys, if you've ever had regrets, I wish I hadn't have been there, done that. If I hadn't went there, and I wouldn't have been a part of this or done that. I was following a weakness. He uses your weaknesses to get you to go down these roads so that you would become the person that you are, because he needed you to be the person that you are. He needs you to be you, because what we're about to have to do. You guys, I really don't feel like it has anything to do with me. It's just God's about to do His thing. Jesus is about to make his self known in a big way, and we're just a part of it, guys. I'm with you on it, you know. And when I look, when I tell the Elijah story, understand that yeah, that happened to me. But if I tell you and you believe it, it happened to you as well. It's a part of your story. It integrates into your story. So Elijah coming to you in the last days, well, if you believe that he came to me and you believe it's a part of your story as well, then you realize that has been fulfilled. You see what I'm saying? Not just in me and my story, but you and your story. And you have your own. You know, it's a part of your testimony. The day you heard it, the day you believed in Jesus, the day, it's all a part of your testimony. But somebody, it's always been throughout the Bible that somebody had to believe another person. Moses is the one that talked to God. They just had to believe him, right? They didn't talk to God. They had to believe him. And it was a large group that had to believe, So it's a big thing to be able to believe in things. And we're believers. We just are. That's how we're built. We believe. Right, Leah? Right, Linda? Right, Gary? Keith? Mickey? I wish Mickey was in here. Mickey's he's gonna be letting me have it for having a live, and he's not in it. But guys, you know, I that's how I feel. We're about to go through it. What do we got left? Today's the 8th. Today's the 8th. I'm only saying dates because of the equinox. We would just say equinox if we didn't have dates. Equinox. It's just a date's there, so we're gonna say date. I don't like to say dates. Never set a date. Y'all know that about me. But I have people get on here. They'll tell me, well, you've been wrong 6 times. I never said it. This is the only time I've ever said the end of the equinox. Anybody who listens to me knows that. So look, I'll get these comments, and there's this cool little thing in the studio when you do lives or whatever, or you do videos that you can go look at, and you can see how long the person that just commented watched your video. They always watch 30 seconds of it and put a real nasty comment. The ones that watch more of it, those are new subscribers and they like it. It's easy to I go look at it immediately and I'll be like, that person didn't even watch my video. So they'll be saying something that I covered in my video. They'll be saying something. I'm like, what? I covered that, It's because they didn't listen to all of it. But when I do my video tonight, if I decide to just go on and do it, it'll be about the invitation. It'll be that they don't see it because they weren't invited. Not that they're not invited, but when Jesus sent the invite out, he knew that it would cover them as well as long as you talk to them, right? But we talk to a number of people, and not as many people as we talk to are freely wanting to avoid wrath that Jesus offers. Okay? But there will be no mid-trib. Sorry. There's no such thing. There's not a story in there that it's likened to that there was a mid anything. Anybody agree to that? Did somebody end up on the boat while Noah was on it midway? Some more people appeared on the boat? It was the people that got on the boat. Now, Noah preached it. There was many people invited on the ark. A lot of people were invited. They didn't get on. So, although Jesus said, you'll do it, He invited many, and they didn't come. Okay? It's like 17 people total on the ark. Now, Lot and his family wasn't as lucky. That wasn't as lucky. They were snatched out just before it happened. Snatched out just before it happened. The rest of the people burned up. There was nobody in mid-wrath and that got out of it. The rest of the city fell. Both of those stories are like it to it. Do you guys see a mid anything? Do you see a mid anything in that? There's not a mid anything in either one of those stories. So there's not, you're going to experience a bunch of wrath. No, no, no. We experience the birth pains. We witness what's about to happen. We realize what's about to happen. And we're trying to tell everyone. But as you can tell, the community's dropped. There was a time when there was like 60 getting on 100 people in here. Look, we have 22 people in here right now, which I'm happy to have. I mean, it's a good amount of people. Now we've got 23. We got 23 people in here now. But as you can see, the community has dropped big time. Not as many people are watching, and they don't want to hear it. They've heard it all season long. It's just like Jesus said it would be. Yeah, we're like sticks snatched from the fire. That's what we are. Grace is the only reason that we get part of this. But I promise you that the story of the 10 virgins tells you everything you need to know, that you have to believe. Your belief system keeps you from a lot of things. If you put cuffs on God, God has cuffs on him. Does that make sense? If you put him in a bottle and make him a genie, he's trapped to the bottle. A lot of people have that Bible the same way. They don't. This is the God of the old time. They don't believe in the God of now. He's real right now. Kim, you could write the book of Kim. Leah, you could write the book of Leah. Haven't you had a whole life? Haven't you led a life with God? Don't you know what's right in your heart? Couldn't you sit down and write everything that you know is right and good and just keep doing that until you finish a whole book and make it the book of Leah and the words that God put in your mouth? Could you not? The book keeps going. It's still alive. It doesn't stop. What they did was they did this unique thing with the Bible. What they did was they stripped out all the other books. They put in these narrow books with a narrative because this controls the people. And what they do is they stick the book of Revelation at the very end. And the book of Revelation says any words that are changed in this book, talking about the book of Revelation, okay, when they already took all the books out of it, okay. They've already changed the book, but they couldn't keep us from getting from God if we had the little engine that could. Okay? God would have got to us there. But what I'm saying is that don't change the words of this book was talking about the book of Revelation. The book keeps going as long as we're alive. We are the living word. Can I get an amen on that? Can I get an amen? Come on. The words keep going. Each one of you could have wrote a book. The book keeps going. Revelation is the book that said, do not change a word. Anybody changes the word. That's the book of Revelation. There are 66 books in there, right? And those aren't all the books. Those are not all the books of the Bible, y'all. They've just said, well, this one, they don't know the author. You find the book of Enoch in every country, and it's exactly the same, and it's not valid. That is BS. It's BS. The book of Thomas is all red letters. It's only Jesus' words, the book of Thomas. It's not in the Bible. You know why? Don't go with the theme. Some of the things kind of like, like were said that they just don't want in there. Yeah, I got to go get something to drink myself, But I just want you to know that uh, you got to look at the way the book was worded. It's not, it's like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Guys, so, those are not all disciples. You know that, right? Matthew and John were disciples. Mark and Luke were reporters from years later, like 100 years after Jesus was gone. Does anybody ever thought about that? There's a lot of things to think about. But there's not a wasted word in any of them. They're all right. Those gospels are right. But what I'm saying is that look, we're about to fly. I hope you guys are ready. I hope some wings just bust out of my back and I just go. I don't care where I turn. I feel like maybe I'll turn a corner and there'll be an angel there, Jesus there or something, and say it's time to go. Like we might turn a corner and there'll just be somebody there and you just know that they're a man of God and it's time to go. Will and Ezekiel's wheel land in my yard? Well, the wheels within wheels land in my yard and we get on something like that and go? Will we just evaporate? Will our bodies drop? Will we just be different than everyone else and walk among them while they're having wrath and we're not? We don't know what rapture, but we're excited because we know it's about to happen. The only reason I would feel like we would go somewhere is because this earth's about to experience some bad stuff. And, it's got to be cleansed because we're coming back here for paradise. And when Jesus steps foot on earth, guys, the final step, we come back with him, it will burn like a furnace. The whole earth will burn within a twinkling of an eye. It's going to burn. And then when it's over, it'll grow back and be paradise. And we will live here with Jesus for 1,000 years. And then, after he rules for 1,000 years, God himself is going to come back and be on earth with us. And there'll be no need for leaders of that because God will be the leader. Does that make sense? Mickey, you're here, buddy. I didn't even know you was here. Look, let me tell you something. Have you guys ever thought about, how we're sitting here talking about the rapture, the rapture, the rapture? You got all these different ones. Some coming out saying, my name's Joshua, Zerubbabel. Have you, the ones in the beginning. Now, I told you that I was given that name. My name's Jason, but I was given the name Joshua by Jesus. My wife was given a different name. And they match what they said. Now, how do you know that we haven't been out in the streets already? What is this, the streets now? How do you know that the two witnesses haven't already been here claiming the rapture, trying to get people ready for a certain amount of time? It's been going on since what, 2020? 2020 is when I got on TikTok. I've got almost 6,000 followers on TikTok and about 2,300 here on YouTube. And I feel like we've already been in the streets, and there's a lot more than just us. And we've been talking about this rapture thing, and I believe that it all coincides with what's about to happen. Like, I believe the witnesses have already been here. And I haven't said that to you guys. I haven't said that to you yet. But when we talk about the witnesses aren't who they think they are, they don't listen to them just like they didn't listen to anybody else. You think that suddenly, that, oh, two witnesses are going to come and people are just going to suddenly. It's a lot more than two. It's a lot of us. I just haven't said that. I just haven't said that much yet. Because I didn't want, I don't want to, I know I know it may not be taken correctly. You see what I'm saying? And I don't want it to not be taken correctly. But you don't have to read your Bible. Jesus is the Jesus of today. You can talk to Jesus today. You can talk to God today. It's all you got to know is that there's one in here, you and God. That's it. That removes Satan. That puts Satan in the abyss. He's locked in the abyss. You talk to no one else but God. See, guys, that's how Job stayed good with God. He never talked to anybody but God. In the beginning of the story, Job he said, if Satan appears before God, he says, have you seen my son Job? Because Satan said he had been running whoever he wanted to. He was going to and fro, running whoever he wanted to. He said, have you seen my son Job? You won't get him to crack. Oh, yeah. If he starts losing, he'll definitely crack. Oh, you can do anything but kill him. So he gets on Job, right? Now, you got people coming to Job and they say they're different things about your God isn't doing what you must have made your God mad. You maybe follow my God, whatever it was. And by the end of the story, Job even kind of seems like he gets a little frustrated with God. He says some things, And then God comes back for like 9 pages, 10 pages, and tells him everything he does, even down to the measurements of the snow in the storehouses, the measurements of a raindrop. He knows everything. The hairs on your... There's nothing he didn't create, okay? And then you go, how did Job stay good with God? He kind of seemed like he got mad at God. Satan disappeared at the beginning of the story. There was no Satan in the story. Job never talked to anybody but God. That's how he stayed good with God. And that's how we stay good with God, is because we don't talk to anybody but God in here. Does that make sense to anybody? Did I lose anybody on that one? That's why in Revelation 20, if this works for you, Leah, I know you know. You could just say transgressor. I already know what you're. But for those of you that I haven't told the story to, I did do a video on it, and I don't know that it did that well. Or have I done a video on it? I know I did a live and did it. It's easier to do it a live to tell the story. But I think I'm about to get up off here because I'm still got a video to do tonight and put it out. But I really enjoy it, guys. I really do. And I want anybody that came in. Did anybody come in late and didn't hear the beginning of what I said? Does anybody want to hear what I said one more time? Anybody? Is that what the hearts are? What I came in here to say is that the reason why you have so many people refute the rapture or they don't see it is because not everybody's invited, guys. It is an invitation that's sent out to certain people. Now, what's cool about our invitation is that we can invite as many guests as we would like. But if they don't believe us or they don't care to hear it, they weren't meant to. They can look and look through the Bible all they want. They'll never see it. They'll overlook it. They'll never see it. It won't make sense to them at all because they weren't invited, and they didn't get the invitation. But it doesn't mean that they weren't meant to be invited. It meant that they didn't get the invitation. They're supposed to listen to someone who did, and God knew that you would make it around to them. However, not everybody's invited, and that's why you'll hear people say there is no rapture, and in the mid-rapture is just to cover the preachers. When the real rapture happens, they can go, well, it didn't really happen yet. I would think that maybe our bodies get left because they will be able to refute it some kind of way. I don't know. There's a lot to think about that, right? Yeah, there's people that are ready, and they're ready, and they don't even think about the rapture. It's because they stay with God all the time in here. And I would say the next group of people that do that are the rapture believers, because we stay looking for God all the time. We stay looking for clues. We stay looking for answers. We can't help ourselves. We want to see Jesus' face so bad that we seek it nonstop. And we look for every clue, and we watch every video, and we look through the Bible, and we listen for new, because we know that the old way just didn't explain it well enough, did it? Right? Did you enjoy the don't question God? Did you enjoy that one? I don't question things. And if you hadn't questioned things, you wouldn't got as far as you gotten. If there's anyone in here that hasn't given me a like, I do like likes. Listen, that's an illusion. You think that they didn't make the rapture? It says first the dead will rise. They ain't missed the rapture just because they died. First the dead will rise and then the living. They haven't missed the rapture. They're just asleep until it happens. Yeah, I got every belief that we're gonna be out of here before them. Guys, I'm just a man, and all I can do is interpret what I was told. Only difference I could say between what I was told and what others was is I was wide awake for mine. Wide awake. And there was more than just the Elijah. There was the chant from the sky that I heard for a whole day that was sounded like a chant, Jesus chanting, saying something all day long for this one day. It was loud and it was audible, and I thought about it, I was like, it wasn't just the Elijah thing. Jesus is coming in a few days, guys. Get ready for Hanukkah. Be excited. Okay? The convergence of things are happening for a reason. It's a convergence of things. It's not just because I say it. There's other things that are in play here. Just what I say is just another one of the convergences. Okay? Three-Eye Atlas is popping up at that same exact time. The equinox is in the exact same time. Hanukkah's in at the exact same time. The 77 years, 7 years, 7 months, 7 days that Israel's been a nation is also on the end of all that. It's a convergence. I don't know. It just all converges when I said equinox. Well, you get ready because your name's about to get called. Guys, we've got so much to be excited for. I feel like, when we talk about Holy Spirit, sometimes I feel like I could just burst out of this body. I don't feel comfortable in it. I don't even feel comfortable in my own body. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. How about y'all? I don't, it's not, I'm not, my little world's okay. I go, I watch TV. I do this, I do that, whatever. I have my little free time and stuff. Money's not great for me, but is it for any of us? It's just the way it is. However, uh, I'm not happy with this world. If you give me, I've had a bunch of nice things and I've owned 2 houses. I've done my thing. I've had nice car, brand new cars. That do not make me happy. They don't. Nothing makes me happy but Jesus and being with my family, like talking to people that believe like me. This is being in one accord. Do you realize that anywhere 2 of us are together, Jesus is there? If we all believe the same way, Jesus is right here in this life. Do you see what I'm saying? He's a part of it. If I say things that resonate with you, know that some of the words, look, I learned from my own mouth because Jesus is constantly putting something in it. Sometimes it'll just be going along and I'll go, wait a minute. I just learned something and I was talking, but it wasn't me. Holy Spirit leading me. And it just struck me today, guys, that why don't they see it? Because not everyone gets the invitation. So if they don't see it, it's real for them. They don't see it. But that doesn't mean that they make you go backwards and you don't see it, right? Or make you feel bad because you do see it. Of course, they're going to try to make you feel bad. They don't see it. And more of them don't see it than do see it. You see what I'm saying? We always knew the numbers would be smaller than we always knew that. We are the ones written in the Bible. What was written in the end, what they were seeing, when those guys were seeing to the future, they were seeing us. But, okay, so look, I don't even think that I think, you know what I honestly believe? I believe we're going somewhere to be trained real quick to have to come right back and help them. I really do. If you read Ezekiel and you understand what it's spiritually instead of just reading it as a factual, you go for the spiritual. You get to see that during that time, you'll be able to come to your family members and ones you love and try to bring them out of it. Lead them. So we'll actually be like angels to them. That's why when it said you'll be made priests of God, you will be able to judge where somebody's at and say the right things to bring them out of tribulation. Well, if you read, look, that people say that the Old Testament contradicts the New Testament, and look, this is what I'm telling you. Old Testament never got it right. That's why we got Jesus. Jesus taught that it was all spiritual, even the temple. Ye are the temple. Now when you go back and you read the Old Testament, instead of reading it as a history book, you understand it tells you how the temple's built. It tells you how the priests are, how everything's set up in you. In you. So you read about the different levels of the temple and you. So when you go back and read Ezekiel, read it spiritually, and you read about the time, last days, and what's going to happen, and you'll be able to come back to your family members and preach them out of tribulation. I've been knowing this for years. I don't talk about this stuff because I know that, you know, I'm just a bearded guy. Like I say, I know that if I look like Joel Osteen or something, people might, listen or, grasp hold of it more better. But uh, God didn't give me what I gave me until I was already looking crazy. Oh, but what do you guys think? Was this a good live? Did you have a good time? I did. I know I did more talking than I did reading and listening, but I had to get something off my mind, and I'm going to be on here through Hanukkah over the next few days, getting that daily oil ready, guys. We got to keep that daily, get this spark going. I know that we need that uplift every day, right, to make it through these times. But I feel like everybody's fired up and ready already. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that don't feel bad when others don't believe you, because they weren't meant to be going anyway. You're just the one. If they don't know about it and they read it, they just not meant to know. It's the way the Bible is. It's meant to divide. It's rightly divided. And that doesn't mean that they're doomed anyway. The saints will be rated higher than the first fruits because they laid down their life for it. First fruits are just lucky because they get to avoid wrath. When I say lucky, I mean Jesus. That's lucky through Jesus, right? Grace. But anyway, I love you guys and have a good night. So, you guys feel better about before I let go? Do you guys feel better about when people don't believe you? Do you understand that you were invited? Not everybody's invited. So you do see in the Bible what they don't see? Sorry, it's just the way it is. There's not anything that they say that I don't see. I already see that stuff. I already knew that stuff. But I see the rapture and they don't. So there's a little more that we see that they don't. I would say an extra gift, and a gift of an invite. And you can invite as many people as you want. Just remember that, but not everybody's going to come. We already know that too. It's all in the book. All right. Everybody tell me good night before I get off here. And I hope, maybe I should save and make that video for tomorrow. I don't know. Well, I just giving you guys to understand, because it's hard sometimes talking to other people. And you can try, but you're invited, Your invite's secure. If you see it, you're invited. You've gotten the invite. If somebody else believes somebody about it, then they got invited through that person who saw the invite, who got the invite. So there'll be other people there, but you were already invited. You're invited by the Lord Jesus Christ. He opened the book for you. All right, you guys have a great night. Love you guys. And I will see you soon. That last video did great, y'all, didn't it? Huh? I thought it did. I mean, I know it's not viral, but it's viral for me. But have a good night. God bless everybody.